the former president, and here he is.
President Trump, will you come speak to us, President Trump?
There it is, about 5 seconds, but 5 seconds of history in this country. The first time we have ever seen a president, former or current, criminally charged. We know he's already been booked. He is a criminal defendant entering a courtroom in Lower Manhattan, John.
And that did not look like somebody that was celebrating a moment that he would be able to capitalize for his campaign, as some of his people have suggested. This is the thing that seals his Republican nomination because it unifies Republicans against the prosecutor. He looked like a man very unhappy to be there. He was with his legal team, the three lawyers you mentioned, but also Boris Epstein, one of his close advisors, and I saw Jason Miller following on. So he's got the legal team there, and he also has his political team. But this was not somebody that was looking to make a big scene at the courthouse, as they had suggested previously.
But he did look to me as someone very aware that the cameras were trained on him.
He looked right at the camera. One thing Donald Trump always knows, in whatever room he is in, is where the camera is. And he looked right at the camera, glared at the camera, and he walked into the courthouse.
There is something different, though, and this goes back to something we've been talking about up to this point, which is there's something different about walking into a courthouse. There is. There's just a different feeling that even if, when he gets back to Mar-a-Lago, he starts, going back to much of the rhetoric that he's issued about this DA, et cetera, when you're in the courthouse, particularly in a courtroom, but even in the courthouse itself, there is a sort of somber sense in the, it's not a happy place. Most people don't like being there. You don't go to a courthouse typically because you want to be there. And so there is that feeling, and this is a dreary courthouse. And so, I do think that we may see a very different Donald Trump tonight at Mar-a-Lago than we're seeing inside that courthouse right now.
I also, look at the sternness of the faces of these officers. And, Dan, you mentioned it. For those of us who have served, answered the call for jury duty, you understand that day in and day out, they work these cases. They protect the people of New York. They're in this courthouse. That is their job. They take it very seriously. And you didn't see, there wasn't even a moment that was excitable there. Everyone recognized the heaviness of the moment. It wasn't just the former president who looked stern walking in, but the officers, too.
But that's the case really with any criminal case, right? And this is, again, a difference between civil and criminal, but particularly in criminal cases. People in the courtrooms are serious. It's serious stuff. You're talking about the possibility of taking away someone's freedom. You don't take that lightly in any courtroom.
Definitely, but I do think it's true that in the hallways, they don't usually feel like that. The hallways are places where people are relaxed, there's conversation and crosstalk happening. True. You saw none of that. Everyone is taking this deadly seriously and correctly. So not just in the courtroom, I don't think, but in the surrounding areas as well.
And when we dipped in for a couple of moments there some time back, just to hear the ambient noise or lack thereof, I thought that spoke volumes too, Pierre, that you could hear a pin drop in that hallway for a good 25 minutes to, a half an hour before he even arrived.
David, the law enforcement officials and those officers in particular are mindful of the moment. They're there to protect the former president of the United States. They're there to protect the prosecutor. They're there to protect all involved. And they want to project the image of this is what we do. We're deadly serious about it. And one thing I can tell you, courthouses are rarely places of joy. And I think any defendant who walks into the courthouse, and we just saw the former president, that feeling cloaks you as you walk in.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.